Due to the graphic nature of this story, this video may not be suitable for viewers below the age of 13, like me. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today I fucked up by causing my wife to publicly vomit on herself, and an unsuspecting waiter, due to my ignorance of healthy restaurants. This happened to me yesterday, and I promised my wife I wouldn't post about it, but I'm pretty sure I have to. Plus, I didn't promise I wouldn't post on a second account. So, quick background info: my wife has a very minor gastrointestinal issue that basically results in her having occasional, brief episodes, 2 or 3 days at a time, of feeling particularly nauseous, and having a heightened gag reflex. It's usually no big deal, she'll just stick to soft, plain foods or liquids, anything else will trigger the gag reflex, or is too hard to swallow, and then it passes, and all is right with the world. However, the past 2 days she seemed to be having an unusually bad bout. She was heating up soups and stews, and then eating only a few bites before giving up, and I started to get worried about her not consuming enough. So, being the wonderful husband that I am, I decided to take her out to lunch at the place. Her favorite place. The place that I hate. The super hip, super vegan wonderland full of kale and quinoa and more yoga pants than you can shake a stick at. Please understand, I feel very uncomfortable at this restaurant. Neither of us are vegan and we don't usually eat healthy, me especially, but my wife is absolutely in love with their soups. They make them really spicy and zesty and flavorful. In fact, I'm fairly certain they must be performing some kind of vegan black magic voodoo dance around each bowl before serving it because it's like nothing you've ever tasted. The point is, I knew she'd absolutely finish the entire dish. Something easy to swallow that would keep her nutrition up, so it was worth it even though we're still not comfortable eating out during this virus. We go and sit down, masks still on, and the waiter struts over with his chipper attitude, and his "I just ate a salad" blow. In all seriousness though, he was a great guy. He takes my wife's order first. Everything on the menu here has a cutesy name, like Tuscan Sunset Soup or Blow Your Socks Off Barbecue. Clearly I don't remember the exact names, but you get the gist, it's that kind of place. The wife is all set, and he turns to ask what I'll be having. I'd seen something new on the menu that actually looked pretty good, so I went ahead and ordered the vegan girlfriend burger. He tilts his head slightly, hesitates for half a second, but then without missing another beat just responds, perfectly casually.
Oh, yep, the vegan gluten-free burger, sure thing. Would you like spicy ketchup?
I immediately realized my mistake. Vegan GF Burger was not another cutesy name. They do not, in fact, serve a girlfriend burger. It took my wife another few seconds to process that I hadn't known GF stood for gluten-free, but as soon as she did, she busted out laughing. I mean, really busted out laughing. The waiter is still standing at the center of the table at this point to finish our order. We all three have masks on, but naturally, no one wants to be blowing air into each other's faces right now. So my wife is trying her best to be polite and stop laughing, covering her face over the mask, turning her head, trying to stifle it. Some combination of this caused her to start to choke a little, and then cough, and then, yep. The gag reflex. She vomits with her mask still on, and, of course, immediately rips it off, but not fast enough to avoid having some still contained in her mouth and on her face. Most of it went down her shirt. When the mask came off, either the vomit backwash or the sheer horror of the situation caused her to immediately projectile vomit again, this time all over the table and onto the ground as she turned her head. And I'm sorry, but I just have to remind you at this point that she had been consuming a mainly liquid diet. So, yeah, you can imagine the impressive travel distance. The 2 explosions happened all within the span of 5 or 6 seconds, so the poor waiter was still kind of frozen in shock when my wife ran to the bathroom. He snapped out of it as soon as she got up and said surprisingly calmly, and still chipper,
"I'll just go grab some towels."
As he darts away, I then see the faint footprints trailing behind him, and realize that it must have splashed all over his shoes. Probably his pants as well. I also realized that he may have been a tad more disgusted than he let on, because my wife beat him back to the table after she spent a few minutes trying to clean herself up. A long few minutes, might I add. It felt like forever. Just sitting there, all alone, people staring, soaking wet table, soaking wet floor, filthy puke mask strewn over the empty chair in front of me. You know, just basking in the destruction brought on by my own stupidity. Basking in the stench. Obviously, when my wife returned, she instructed me to get in the car immediately. We went home before the waiter came back. And I never did get to try my girlfriend burger.
Thank you for watching.
Please like and subscribe if you found today's video pleasing.
Suggest posts below that you want to hear me or any of my friends retell.